Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are working on chest, upper back, shoulders. It's the whole area that usually we tend to hold tension or stress. So we are going to be working with our props to open up and make space. Thank you all for being here. So I'm going to start with two blocks. I have them in the medium setting today, and I put the medium setting because it's a height that it's usually comfortable for every type of structure in the body, but you will have to test if this works for you, okay? So what I'm going to do as I start is to sit right in front of my blocks, and I'm going to make the first block land right behind my chest, so it's at the base of my shoulder blades, and I'm crossing my legs, so like a cross leg position, and then I'm placing my chest, the back of my chest on top of the first block, and the second block, I have it right behind my head. Like I said, this is very personal for each body type, so you need to perhaps sit back and test if this feels like it's an okay height for you. So one thing to know, perhaps if you're not sure if this is the right height, is that if your shoulders are coming up like this, like shrugged in, that means that those blocks are a little too high. Okay, that doesn't mean anything bad. It's just that it will bring tension in your body and you don't want that. So for that, you will need to take them into the lowest setting, which is the flat one, okay? If you're okay here, you should feel your shoulders dropping down. My arms are to the sides. And I'm going to try and just rest here. We are going to take 5 breaths and then we are going to switch the leg cross. And we're going to try and just relax the upper body into that support. It could also be, I just want to say, because it's important that you don't feel any pain in the shape that you're taking, okay? So it may also be that if your neck perhaps is short, that also it's something that it's structural, and you feel like your head is going like this too far back and the chin is too far up, that means that maybe you need to, I'm going to show it even though it doesn't apply to me, but you may need to make your block taller there instead of lower, okay? And you still want to feel that sensation of dropping the shoulders down. For me, this would be a little too tall, so I'm going to return to the other setting, okay? So we start here, trying to just, like I said, drop, soften the skin. Your hips should be grounded into your sticky mat. You can always add a blanket underneath. You should not feel like you have to be like floating with your hips or your pelvis, okay? Notice your breath here and see if you can make it slow. Perhaps you can take it in a way that it becomes deeper than what it is now. And just notice where the breath is in your body. So where can you feel it the most? And also important to soften the skin in your face, to relax your jaws. And to connect with that sensation of rise and fall in your breath. After one more breathing cycle, without rushing, we are going to do that change in the leg cross, okay? So the leg that was in front, now I'm putting the opposite shin in front, releasing again through the knees, the thigh bones, and the sitting bones to create more connection to earth. And then let's take again here a few breaths. When we become more still, we have a chance to listen more closely to the sensations that arise in the body. And together with the breath, we can bring a little bit more of a release, a softening, and dropping the tension that you may find that unconsciously or without really paying attention, we hold sometimes in the neck, the upper back, shoulders, chest. So feel your lungs expanding from the center out, like when we open a book and we have those two sides expanding from the center out for one more breath. Good. Then slowly from here, a few options. You can keep the legs as they are and just press into your elbows and palms to push up. You can bring your feet down if this helps you to raise yourself up in a better way, or you could always roll over to the side, okay? So this one can be one I'm showing, just coming up or rolling over and then up to a seated position. Good. From here, I'm going to slowly move those blocks and I'm going to use another support. It can be a blanket like I'm having with me here and put it so you can elevate your pelvis a little bit as we sit. Okay. So cross leg position again, also to help our upper body. We are going to hold the knees and we are going to take the cat-cow position 3 times. I'm going to slowly inhale, opening up the front, sending the shoulders back and shoulder blades down, a gentle lift in the chin without forcing the neck to or the head to go really far back. And then with the exhale, rounding in the upper back, belly in, chin down. And again, inhaling. Try to feel the breath moving through your spine, the central axis in your body, keeping the face soft, relaxing outer ears, jawline, tongue. One more. Maybe you can pick up sounds coming from your body. That's very normal. Maybe clicking, snapping, or throbbing pulsations. That's very common. I'm coming back to center, and now what I'm going to do is to frame my right knee with both my hands, and I'm going to try and point my navel or belly button towards that right knee. So I'm going to try and keep that diagonal, and as I keep that with fingertips pressing down, again, I'm going to take the cat-cow 3 times. It's going to feel a little different because we are twisting the body as well, okay? So inhaling, trying to open up through the front, shoulders back. Exhale, rounding belly in, adding to that twist. It may not be as big as the first ones that we did, okay? And that's normal. Inhaling, exhale. One more. Notice sensations alongside your trunk, neck, shoulders. Last one. So I'm returning back to neutral and I'm going over to the second side, both hands framing my left knee. Again, I'm going to try and keep my navel pointing towards my left knee. So as far as I can go, like to get that diagonal. And then from there, 3 times again, cat-cow, inhaling. It's really cow-cat because we start with the opening, which is called the cow. And then with the exhale, we go into that rounding motion, belly button touching your spine, chin down. And 2 more. Beautiful. We return back to the center we go. I'm going to switch the cross of the legs one more time. So we give the same treatment to both sides. Good. And from here, we are going to inhale, send the arms up, overhead. Exhaling through the center. Good. One more. I'm going to change it a little. We are going to inhale again, arms up overhead. This time I'm going to open into a cactus shape. And from here, my elbows, I'm going to try and take them back. Feel the connection in the upper back there, the shoulder blades, those wings moving towards one another. See if you can also send them slightly down and lift the center of your chest just a little. Okay, you can keep the chin pointing down, but we are lifting, lengthening the sides. Breathe here for one full breath. Good, and I'm going to inhale, send my arms up again, and exhale and release. Beautiful. Now I'm going to show you a different, a little mini flow that we're going to do with our arms. I'm going to sit like this so you can see the movement up and behind me, and you can sit on your heels if that feels okay for you. You can always put a blanket, a pillow, or blocks in between your heels, okay? So watch first. We're going to do different movements that will help with strengthening the upper back, shoulders, and all of this area, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to put my palms together and I'm going to bring them behind my head. But instead of touching my head, I'm going to keep my fingertips a little bit off, right? A little further back. That means that I'm like kind of like half an inch behind my head, okay? And my elbows go back. So I'm going to inhale in here, pressing those elbows back. And then with the exhale, I'm going to send my arms up with my palms facing forward. Okay. Then from there, I'm going to turn the palms, bring my arms all the way back and down, feeling those shoulder blades move down my back. And then I'm going to bend my elbows and bring my palms together again behind the lower back, but without touching my body. So again, I try to stay like 1 inch away and lift my palms as far up as they go. Then I'm going to release down and return to where I was before. Coming both up, palms facing forward, bending elbows, bringing the hands behind the head. Okay, so this is the movement and we're going to do it slow a couple of times. Now, one of the challenges of this movement, like I said before, if you need to change the seat, you can change it to be comfortable. One of the challenges of this movement, and you saw it possibly when I was doing it because I could see myself, is that the front of our bodies tends to pop and the ribs want to go out. So we are going to try and do that movement, holding the floating ribs more into the body, okay? So we want this area, I'm exaggerating now, but we don't want to do this as we do the movement, but we want to keep it more into the neutral, okay? So let's try. Palms together behind the head, floating ribs moving in so the core is more activated. I'm not touching my head, I'm sending the elbows back. The head is above the spine, okay? Inhale here. Exhale, send the arms up, arms facing forward. Turn the palms, bring the arms slowly far back and down. Keep the floating ribs moving in. Then as far as you can go, bend the elbows, bring the palms behind you without touching your body. Then re-extend, turning the palms, we go back up. Palms facing forward, we bend the elbows, we go back to the beginning. Okay, let's go again. Elbows back, head above the spine, ribs in. Slowly sending arms up, palms facing forward. Turn the palms, bring it back. Bending elbows behind the back and return. Last one, we add one more. From here, elbows back, ribs in. We go back up. You may be feeling your biceps, triceps like I do, right? For this movement, we are, like I said, creating strength. So it's getting into the shoulder joint and strengthening that area. Then I'm coming back up and returning to my starting position. And then slowly release, Roll the shoulders a little. Good, a few circles, forward and back. Good, and then from there, I'm going to take my belt. And again, you choose the way you want to sit. If you want to add a blanket, pillow, or anything else, you are more than welcome to do so, okay? Now I took a belt that I have and I folded it in two, okay? So it's in half. And I'm going to hold it with my hands being wider than my shoulders, as you can see, okay? And from here, we're going to do, again, some strengthening and stretching also exercises. We inhale, we send the arms up, we are pulling, right? That belt, we are making it taut. So pull from the belt, lengthen the sides, and see if you can take that belt a little further back behind your head. Now, without doing, you don't want to, I want to show here, you don't want to do this with your head, okay? So you want to keep the head above the spine and just push and pull, right? The belt away from the both ends, but also going back. Good, let's see from here we can bend the elbows and just keep pulling those ends of the belt, bringing the belt behind your head and then re-extend. And again, bending elbows towards that cactus shape like we did before and back up. 3 more, don't rush, okay? Go at your own pace, keep breathing fluidly. 2 more. Last one. Then bring the belt down. Good, and release. Very nice. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to take both my blocks and bring them tall in front of me. And I'm going to put my right foot forward first. We're going to take a lunge, okay? I'm changing a little bit. We are going to add a little bit more movement to the upper body, okay? So I'm going to untuck my back toes. I'm going to send my left knee back a little, and I'm letting my pelvis move forward and down. You can see how my hips are coming forward and down. My blocks are close to me, so I can stay supported. And I'm all in black, so it's a little hard to see. Sorry for that. But I'm going to try and bring my upper arm bones and shoulders back. So I hope you can see like the difference between staying forward and then back. It will open the chest, okay? So from here, I'm letting the pelvis, like I said, drop and come forward. I'm sending my upper arm bones back. Good. And from here, I'm going to move my block that it's on the right side, just half an inch out. Okay, so a little more to the right. I'm going to lean with the weight of my body over to the right. It's not that I'm coming over, right? But I'm just shifting the weight over to the right. Then I'm going to extend the left arm up. I'm keeping the chest open, right? We're working still upper body, and I'm moving that left side over to the right. So I want to keep the chest open with the belly button pointing up to the skies. My right shoulder and upper arm bone, they are going back like before. And you may be feeling already a nice stretch in the left hip flexor. So we are doing a lot of opening in different areas, okay? Firm the hips into one another, let them be heavy down to earth. Then I'm coming back to center, releasing. Good, and from here, let's play a little bit, tucking the back toes. I'm going to just push myself back, folding. And then when I'm coming back, I'm opening the chest and lifting, okay? And again, going back, extending, coming forward, opening up. Last one, going back and coming forward. Good. I'm coming back towards more of a neutral low lunge, and I'm going to bring my right knee back, sit for a moment, take a deep breath in here. Exhale, notice sensations in the hip flexors, perhaps, shoulders, neck. Good, and then we're going to switch sides. I'm going to put the left foot forward. My blocks are helpers. I'm lifting my right knee just a little bit and then untucking my toes and letting my hips drop towards the top of my mat and down. So it's two movements. It's forward and down, okay? Heavy. And as you can see, I'm taking the blocks out so you can see my knee may pass a little bit over my heel and it's okay. It's not gonna hurt or do anything wrong, okay? So you can leave it like that. And then from here, wherever the blocks feel comfortable, usually I feel like the blocks are more comfortable when they are closer to the hips because they are more in the line of your shoulders. From there, I'm going to try and bring my shoulders back and my upper arm bones back as well. Okay, so I'm lifting and opening the chest, shoulder blades down the back. Stay here for a moment, take a deep breath. Feel that stretch in the right side. I'm sure you can feel a little bit of that already. Good. And then from here, I'm going to shift my block that it's on the left, just a touch further out. So it's like half an inch to the left. I'm going to shift the weight of my body over to the left a little. And then I'm bringing my right arm up overhead and going over to that left side. Navel points up to the skies. Stretch that right arm. One more breath, send the left shoulder back, the left upper arm bone back. Then back to center. We bring that right hand to the blocks. Again, bring them close to you. And from there, we'll play a little tucking the back toes. I'm going back, extending the front leg, pointing the toes up. And then forward, opening the chest. A little bit of that cat-cow sensation again. And again, I'm going back, folding, coming back, opening. Good, one more. Good, back to center. Instead of bringing that left leg back, I'm going to put both my blocks now a little shorter. So I went down one setting, but you are going to check if that works for you, okay? And now I'm going to lift my right knee, push through the back heel, and with my hand, supported, right hand supported with the block, I'm going to twist over to the left. Now I want you to use your block on the right as a springboard. So you push so you can lift off from there and take the chest a little further up to the skies. If this feels like it's too much for you, you just bring the right knee down and you can do this the same way, okay? So one or two. Inhale here. Exhale. One more, pushing through the back heel if you have that right knee elevated. Good, then I'm bringing my left hand down. And from here, I'm going to bring the left leg back and switch right leg forward. Simple today, okay? And from here again, I'm going to squeeze through the hips. Again, if you need to keep the left knee down, you keep it down. If you're okay lifting that knee, try to not lock the knee, just push through the back heel and lift your left thigh, okay? Left hand is supported by the block. I'm pushing that block again and away to lift up through the chest, shoulders back. Breathe here. Good, then I'm taking my right hand down, left knee down. I'm going to bring the right knee also back. I'm going to move those blocks, widen the knees and take a child's pose. Good, last breath. Nice, and then I'm slowly sitting up. Beautiful. Okay, let's add one more before we have to close this short session. I'm hoping that you all have a pillow I'll show you how this goes. So I'm going to use a pillow. For me, I have a bolster, what we call a bolster, and I'm going to place it. I'm actually going to use a little bit of my wall. Don't worry about it. If you don't have a wall, it could be that perhaps you have like a chair close by and you are going to touch the legs of the chair. It can be also that you have a dresser maybe and you touch the bottom of the dresser, because I'm not going to go high. It's just that I want to touch with my fingertips into kind of like the baseboard or the end of the wall. So if you have something, you'll try to touch it. If not, it's fine as well. Then after the pillow, besides the pillow, I'm going to have a blanket that it's right in front. So I have wall, let's say, or piece of furniture, then a blanket, and then my pillow or bolster. And the last one that we are going to use is the belt. So I'm also going to take the belt and I'm going to make a loop that it's as big as shoulder to shoulder distance, okay? So you can see there's a little hole there and it's shoulder to shoulder distance apart. So that's all I need, okay? Once you have it, this is our last one because we run. So once I have it, I'm going to sit in front of my pillow. You can see how I'm not sitting on top. I'm sitting in front. The belt, just keep it next to you for a moment until I show you what happens. I'm going to cross my legs like when we do the cross leg position. My pillow, the big pillow, is going to be a support right behind my chest and my shoulders, okay? So that's what I'm going to do first. Shoulders and upper back. My shoulders are touching that pillow and they could be a little bit out, but they are not touching out, okay? But my arms they are able, you see, to come towards the wall and my head is supported by my blanket. And that blanket I put there to actually act as a pillow, and you will need to measure if that pillow is too low, then you refold the blanket and you make it a little taller, okay? So it lifts your head more if you need, okay? Once you have these, you're going to take your belt and you're going to put both your hands inside the belt until you have the belt on your wrists and you're going to pull, right? So I'm trying to break into the belt with my wrists. My arms are up and straight. My fingertips are pointing forward. And then from there, I'm going to, I'm going to come towards the wall. But first I want to pin my shoulder blades into the bolster or pillow that I have. And I'm trying to keep that action happening as I'm bringing my arms overhead towards the wall, the chair, or anything that you have. If you're easily touching like me, I'm a little too close to the wall, then you're going to turn your palms and try to touch with the palms into the wall or the piece of furniture, okay? If you're just like reaching with the fingertips, you just try to touch with the fingertips and walk your hands as far down as you can. Keep pinning the shoulder blades down into your pillow. And if your lower back is okay and there's no issues there, you can extend both legs and just stay here, extending through the arms, breaking into that belt with your wrists and reaching far back above your head. This is super good for chest and upper back. And like I said before, your head should be well supported, okay? Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. If you change the position of your legs to the extended option like I'm showing, and that feels that it's sensitive in your lower back, then you recross your legs, okay? Or you can bend your knees and put your feet down. Good, I'm going to do just one modification of this posture by bringing my arms up again towards the ceiling, and I'm going to move my belt all the way down to my elbows. And now I'm going to be breaking into my belt with my elbows. Same idea. I'm going to turn my palms like if I wanted to touch the ceiling with them. And from there, again, pinning my shoulder blades into the pillow. I'm going to bring my arms up above my head and try to touch my wall. Maybe it's even just like reaching with like the pads of your fingers, okay? Wall or anything that you have behind you or nothing. Just stretch, stretch, stretch like if you wanted to touch onto something. Keep pinning those shoulder blades down, extend through the legs. Take 2 breaths. Keep breaking into the belt with the elbows. Then we slowly return, arms up. Good. Bend the elbows or just remove that belt out. Good. You're going to bend the knees here. Look at this, the way we come out. Lace your fingers, bring your hands behind the head, rest the head onto your hands. And now from here, we are going to, like when we do the cat-cow, I'm going to bring the elbows towards one another and lift myself up. And from there, push and come up. Good. Awesome. We're at the time of closure. So I'm going to end with this one. All of these are really nice tools that you can use whenever you want to open up or feel a little bit more a workout for the upper back and the shoulders. So I hope that it's useful. Thank you all so much